All right, welcome everybody to the weekly Zoom call. Tonight is all about a meet and greet, so we can kind of introduce ourselves to one another prior to the lift party on this coming Sunday. Just a reminder on that, that's 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's like an open house essentially at Body Shop Gym, so you don't have to pay anything to get in. I'll have paper waivers, so just, sign that to say that you won't sue if you fall and get injured or something like that. But it's an awesome gym, great environment. If you guys never been there, I think Solely and Haley are the only two that have been here or been there on here. I'm sure they have great things to say about it. I'll let them kind of talk about it as well. They've been going there for, Solely, you've been there since probably close to the opening. Haley, I know you've been with me for about 6 months there or so, but great, awesome gym. And then on top of that, I've got some good raffle giveaway stuff. I'm not going to dive into too much of that stuff. I've already told you guys about a lot of it and kind of posted that stuff about it. But one of the things I'm really excited about, and this is something I just now recently started trying myself, Core Lab Solutions reached out to me a while back, and they do IV therapy. Cam, and I know you were asking about where the location was. It's like 95th and Lamar. So it's awesome for me because it's like 5 minutes down the street. But no, so essentially, they do like COVID testing and COVID vaccines, but their main thing is IV therapy. So they have these awesome massage chairs there. They're like $2,000 massage chairs that you can sit in while you get your IV treatment done. And they have TVs like Netflix and all that good stuff on it. It usually takes about 45 minutes to an hour to do, but it's super relaxing. But ultimately, they have a handful of different IV therapies, and they have intramuscular injections as well. So a handful of those as well. And I want to have a Zoom call in here where I invite a couple of those employees from there, some of the staff, to kind of, delve into more of it. I have a good understanding of it, but to explain it, I would sound like an idiot compared to them. And actually, two of those staff members are actually now part of TLF. One of them is joining here soon, and one of them, Ariel, is already part of TLF, and she's going to get rocking, I think, this coming Monday. But so I would love to have them kind of come on here and talk to you guys about it. But it was really awesome. And I got my first one done a couple weeks ago, and it was just for muscle recovery, which I wasn't that sore at the time, so I didn't really notice a huge difference the following few days. I felt good, but I came down with the flu a couple days ago, was just feeling awful the first few days of this week. After I think I drank on Saturday night, I woke up kind of hungover, but I think my immune system was down. I caught a bug, and just felt like trash all day Monday at work. I only had to go in because it was Halloween and we had like 5 unfilled subs, so I couldn't be part of that was gone. So I pushed through on Monday and then felt even worse on Tuesday, but went and got the IV therapy yesterday. And I got what they call their Myers cocktail. I'm not sure why they name it that, but essentially it's good for a lot of different things, including your immune system. And I was feeling awful yesterday, probably 10% of my best. And today I'm probably feeling 90% of my best. Like I felt like I could have got a workout today. And that's just a quick turnaround after just getting that one injection. That one IV therapy. I also got a vitamin D intramuscular injection as well. So I'm excited to see how that feels over the course of wintertime with less sunlight. Chris, no worries. Appreciate you being on here anyway, but have fun getting your daughter to practice, or getting her picked up from practice. Anywho, so that is for the IV therapy. So they're doing a 6-month, I think I have a 6-month gold and a 6-month silver giveaway as part of our raffles. And that's like a $1,500, $2,000 giveaway just for that alone on top of everything else. So I'm super excited for that one. And they should be there to give out some more information about that stuff as well. But anywho, the whole purpose of this call is for our meet and greet. So you guys all know me. I'm not going to talk a whole lot today. But hopefully we can kind of go around the circle. We can start at least in my top left corners, Cameron and Mike, if you guys want to share a little bit about yourself, kind of your past, your experiences with all this stuff. Really, whatever you feel like sharing. I know, Cameron, you kind of talked a little bit about your CrossFit journey last week. But yeah, I'll open the floor to you guys. Kind of tell us whatever. If you want me to, direct you a little bit more with specific questions, I can do that as well. But otherwise, go for it.
Okay. Hi, I'm Cameron.
I'm Mike.
Yep. I'm here because a coach I had in the past told me that you cannot out exercise a bad diet. And I am living proof of that because I love working out. It's like my passion, but I still manage to put on some fat. And I think I was sabotaging myself by not eating enough. And so I wanted to know what my perfect macros were for just me. And we're probably still figuring that out a little bit, but that's why I'm here. And also to help encourage my husband, Mike, who's sitting here next to me in front of the fire.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not feeling like she is, but I struggle with my weight. I work 60 hours a week, and I don't eat well, so I'm learning.
What do you guys do as well? What are your professions? I know Cam, and you're full-time.
I'm a full-time student right now.
Yes. And what are you going back to school for?
I'm a nurse practitioner. I'm working on my master's in nursing.
Love it. That's exciting stuff. What do you want to do with that once you get it? I know I've texted you about it a little bit, but just get it and then see where life kind of, what doors open for you afterwards.
Yep.
I love it. Well, we always need more medical professionals. We kind of chatted back and forth about that over text, just needing medical professionals who really truly listen to, what our issues are, and finding the root cause of issues is always a big thing. Always a big thing.
Yeah.
For sure. Mike, what about you?
I own a construction company, and I put pipe under the ground. So I come into your all's subdivisions and I destroy it. I put the pipe underneath the ground, and then all of a sudden you guys get great internet. And then eventually you have grass again. That's what I do.
There you go. Perfect. So who hires you? Is it like another construction company, and then you come in and just do that?
No, I work for Google.
Oh, for Google.
So I work for Google.
Perfect.
And I also work for TNT.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good deal. Good deal. So none of us can just hire you directly if we need your services.
Absolutely. If you got the money, I'll drill whatever pipe you need me to drill.
All right. Perfect. Good enough.
If you got a mile-long driveway and you want a power on your fence, I can drill that pipe all the way up to your house.
All right. Good to know. Good to know. I live in Prairie Village, and they have horrible water sewage systems over here, and I'm always horrified of our pipes bursting and having to pay 20 grand, whatever that's for. It's good stuff. Good stuff. I'm so happy we bought an old home. Luckily, we haven't had that problem, not known, but just other issues. So you guys have been with me now for, this is like day 10, day 11, something like that. Well, how was your
10.
Day 10? Yeah. How has your experience been so far?
So my experience is like, I didn't realize I had to eat so much food.
Yeah.
And I was eating so much bad food. I didn't realize how much food I needed.
What?
Well, and on top of that, and this is what we kind of talked about, with your check-ins and stuff, is that you likely are eating less calories now than probably what you were before. It's just so easy to get a high amount of calories when you're not eating nutrient dense food. If we're just eating whole foods, stuff that's not processed, it's tough to get 1,500 calories. It's tough to get 2,000 or 2,500 calories. But before, if you go look at the menu at McDonald's or anywhere else, I don't know where you necessarily frequent before, but just McDonald's is a good example. If you just go get a regular meal with a regular fry and a regular, pop on the side, that's like 1,200 calories already. And you're not off that. You don't really feel good after it. You might feel full in that moment, but you're hungry 2 or 3 hours later. So if you follow it up with more snacks, then maybe even another meal like that, boom, you're at 2,500 calories, and it feels like you haven't made a dent into your hunger for the most part.
Yeah. So obviously we're not the fast food people, but we were the go sit down in the restaurant people, because obviously we're like, oh, let's go sit down and eat some good food.
Yes.
But
and then
same scenario.
Do what?
The same scenario.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Because even if there's plenty of healthy options on there that you look at, but again, something that it's always hidden how much fat's in the food that we're eating at those restaurants. And again, I've mentioned this on here before. I've mentioned this on the podcast that Caleb and I run as well, is that the cooks are not worried about whether it was supposed to have an ounce of olive oil or 2 ounces of it, or whatever the case is. Like, they're just doing whatever they need to do to make it taste good. They're not sitting back there usually measuring that type of stuff, how much it's all getting cooked in. So, even if you're picking a really, a lower calorie option, you're still getting a surplus of fats that aren't necessarily going to be accurate. And if you're making a choice to just, hey, what sounds good while I'm out to eat, you're still kind of falling that same trap as anything like a fast food type place. It might taste better, it might seem healthier, but you're still loading up on calories that you don't really realize it.
Yeah. I think right now both of us are trying to learn to trust your process because we're so full all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
Well, and
7, 8 o'clock at night, dude, I'm cussing you. I
well,
promise.
and so that's why and I've started saying this much more on like my introduction or like my first message out to people that this is a lot of nutrient dense food, and if you're used to either under eating, because that's another thing as well for you, especially Mike, when you're when you're working your ass off all day long, whether you're at home or you're on the go, you're at job sites, whatever the case is, you're forgetting to eat, or even if you're not forgetting to eat, you might not have time to eat, or you don't have the right foods on hand, and you're like, well, I don't want to stop at McDonald's because I don't want to get fast food because I know it's not good for me, so I'd rather just not eat. Well, then we're again kind of falling in a similarly negative trap when it comes to what we're doing to our bodies and our metabolism by constantly either under eating or overeating calories that we don't really know that we're overeating in. And then that's just where that weight just gradually climbs and climbs and climbs before we're like, oh shit, I should probably get a handle on this.
Yeah, today was actually the first day I actually had that struggle.
Yeah.
To where, because I'm in the position in my life to where I don't have to go on the field every day, but today I did.
Yeah.
And I had a good breakfast. I did everything right. I did a nice snack before I left. But then, like, I was planning on coming home and eating lunch, but that job site happened and this happened. And I happened to have a protein beef stick from
Supplement
Superstore in my glove box. So I mean that really helped me get through, but it's still like it's a struggle because where I was today, even if I would have had a meal, there's no way I could have warmed it up.
Yeah, and it's good to have something like that on hand, something you don't have to warm up like that. It's good to have those higher protein snacks like that on hand. I always try to keep proteins, somewhat accessible, but also with something I like to do as well. If I don't know for sure if I'm going to have access to either getting back home at a certain time or might not have access to a microwave, I like to just, I'll take a shaker bottle. I'm hoping that everybody here, I don't know about you guys as well, Cameron, since you've been in the gym for a long time, I would assume you guys have a decent amount of shaker bottles. I've got like 40 of them that I've accumulated for the past 20 years of my life. But if you guys don't have shaker bottles, highly recommend investing into them. But so I'll just take a shaker bottle with me. And sometimes I'll take even 2 and I'll put 2 scoops of protein in it. I also have some psyllium husk that I'll toss in for fiber as well. But ultimately that way, I might not even need to use that protein shake whatsoever, but at least I have that dry powder inside that shaker cup. So if I can't get home or if I can't get to the microwave, then I at least have that. And then I'm either not going all day without eating, or I'm not having to make some other decision and things like that. So it's a good thing you had that beef stick, but that's something I would recommend doing is if you're going to be gone all day and there's a chance that you might not get back home, but just having, that ready to go. And the worst case scenario, if you need to stop by Quick Trip and just get a protein shake, protein bar, beef stick, something like that, then, make that decision as well. Fruit's always a good idea on the road and you can pick that up anywhere. So that's definitely a good thing.
Good idea.
Well,
Today was good. It was a good day. I made the right decision.
Yes, you did.
Normally I don't.
Well, and now you have, calories to eat tonight. And, ultimately, if you end up going to bed and you only got, 80% of your meals in or 75% of your meals in, but you're absolutely stuffed, I count that as a win because you're not going to end up overeating on calories. And again, that's gradual. Like you said, you're super full off this diet plan. You didn't realize it was going to be like that for both of you. So start with where you are, even if that's only 3 out of 4 meals or whatever the case is. And then eventually your metabolism gets used to it. And then you're able to add in that next meal and things like that. And usually people that were constantly under eating, that we gradually get them to eat more and more food, you start seeing what happens when you're actually fueling your metabolism. It actually starts kicking up, and actually starts working as it should be because you're fueling it. And then even though you're stuffed and you're eating more calories than what you felt like you were ever eating, now you're dropping weight because your metabolism is actually turned on. It's like, okay, we're getting a good amount of food in here, so we can start kind of burning up this stuff. But Cam and Mike, thank you for sharing. Appreciate it. Will you guys be there on Sunday?
Yeah.
On. All right, I'll see you guys there then. Perfect. There's also, for everybody else that's listening, there's also a coffee shop right next door. So if you don't like pre-workout or anything like that, then, I would stop by there. It's a good coffee shop called Brouhaha, tasty coffee and everything else. But, all right. Should I call on people or Katrina, you're here. I can see you. Everybody else has their screen off. So Katrina, you want to share a little bit about yourself? I know. So you've been with me before. So if you want to share anything about that kind of, maybe how the past, whatever you feel comfortable sharing, you go for it. Hold on, you're muted.
Gosh, I've known you for what, like a decade now?
Yeah.
So I started with Marcus, I think in July, but I was in a toxic job. I was really excited to do it, but toxic job. And then I ended up switching that company and I'm at KU now, very happy. So I know you like the two earlier, I know you can't, what is it?
Outwork a bad diet.
Yes, exactly. So I need structure. So what Marcus has given me is perfect because there's no thinking involved because I do enough of that at work. So I'm very excited to be back and give it my all this time.
That's nice. It's nice to have a plan just to execute. I mean, sometimes
Exactly.
all we're doing is thinking. It's nice to just have a plan and be like, okay, I know what I'm eating.
Yeah, this is what I gotta eat. This is when I gotta eat and not have to think about it.
Yeah, no, yeah, 100%. And then obviously,
And I'm a notorious undereater, not on purpose, but stress, work, whatever.
just
I
catching
just-
up to it. Yeah, it's tough to kind of get that aspect under control because it's just not a part of our routine sometimes. But once you kind of get nailed down the certain times and you really stick to that consistent routine, your body starts saying, hey, it's time to eat. At the right times whenever you're actually getting hungry. That's when I'm so regimented with it that I'm starting to get hungry about 30 minutes before it's time for a meal. I'm like, okay, perfect. Now we got that kind of segment out for myself. But no, so yeah, it's that's a hard part, and obviously you can always set, alarms and stuff like that on your phone, just vibrating reminders or something like that, to eat certain meals if you're struggling with the timing of it all. That way you don't walk into 7 p.m. and you're like, oh my God, I got 3 meals to eat. How am I going to get all this in? Because you don't
Yeah,
obviously.
I did today was my first low carb day. I did really good on that. So I know tomorrow I'll get more food and
Well,
we'll see how that goes.
I'm impressed because since you started that, our holiday program and you signed up this weekend. I wasn't able to get your program because I was, had the flu and whatnot. I was able to get it to you yesterday, luckily. So I'm impressed that you're able to flip around and start right the next day. And
Well, I went home. I'm like, the gym can wait. I'm not gonna,
I'm not
out
gonna make all that
exercise
progress
it.
in one day at
And
the
I'm like,
gym.
I'm just gonna get this shit done and get on it.
I love it. And well, ultimately, I always talk about the hierarchy of needs, and that's executing that exact thing. I always say I'd much rather you go grocery shopping and meal prep versus hit the gym. Like if you have to pick
Yeah.
one, and because ultimately not getting meal prep is going to affect the next 6 or 7 days. Not getting that workout in is only going to affect that one day. So it's, what's the most bang for my buck and try to control that. But it's always control that, sleep and stress, nutrition and water, and then exercise and supplementation. So you conquered that. Good job with that.
Thank you.
Of course. I'm excited to see what we can do this time around.
Absolutely. Like I said, my job is great. So we don't have to deal with that anymore.
We're gonna crush it. You got anything else you want to add?
Nope.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing, especially on your very first call back on here.
Now, how do I shut off the video?
It should be at the bottom there. There you go. You got it. Perfect. All right. So everybody else on here, I know some of you guys kind of came a little bit late. This is our meet and greet ahead of Sunday's TLF lift party. Soli, got your screen on. Looks like you're ready to rock.
Ah, damn it.
There you go.
There we go.
You got it.
Thanks.
Soli, tell us about yourself, brother.
All right. I'm David Sullivan. Most people just call me Sully. Thank you, Pixar. And yeah, I'm a graphic designer full time. I work at a company that makes plastic cups. So if you guys go to a Royals game or a Chiefs game, you get a souvenir cup for $20. That's mine.
Or the World Series, which you gave
Or
me
the
a
World
cup for.
Series, All-Star game. Yep. We've done all sorts of stuff. Restaurants too. So definitely like seeing my product in other people's hands. So it works out. In terms of my
On our
fitness
bodies and on our walls. Not to interrupt you, but
walls, yep. Bodies, walls, things. This is the fun part about being a designer.
yes, eventually get a tattoo. Who knows?
I'll let that be you. I will never design my own tattoo. That just never will happen.
Perfect.
In terms of like my fitness journey, it's been a long time. About 7 years ago, I started a whole thing. I was at 250, dropped down to 180. Just did a little diet program called Isogenics on that for a while. It was pretty much a meal replacement shake program. low carb, that thing, dropped the weight in a year. Over that time, I just kind of kept up with the maintenance and realized I was skinny fat. Didn't really gain any muscle or anything like that during that time. So as I was getting really heavy into the workouts, 2020 hit, I got furloughed. Me and my buddies got together every morning or every other morning up in Liberty. I'm down here in Lenexa at 8 a.m. just to go work out. With them, I got a lot stronger, learned how to actually work the gym, but the diet was still okay. Wasn't all that great. But so one moment I learned how to do the diet, next moment I knew how to do the workouts. And then now I'm with Marcus trying to figure out the both. Over at Body Shop Gym, had someone before Marcus for a little bit. He since moved on to a different spot. I like the Body Shop spot a whole lot, so I decided to stay. Like Marcus's vibe, he pretty much matched me with charisma and everything I wanted to know about fitness. So been pretty happy so far. No complaints here.
Yeah, definitely. And you've been crushing it with me. I think what would we start? July-ish together?
July-ish, yeah, that sounds about right.
July-ish. And Sully had been eating a lower calorie, lower carb, doing, I think, what were we doing, like an hour of cardio day, or how much was it?
It was about 40 minutes of cardio on off days and like 20-minute cardio on days.
Yeah. And so, considering he'd been in a deficit for so long and, obviously eating less calories, trying to lose body fat, and we saw that things were plateaued, we took a different direction. We immediately started a reverse diet pretty much once he got on board with me. I took some of your lab work. I know we wanted to fix a couple different things on there. So supplementing for that, but then ultimately reverse dieting, pulling away cardio. I mean, now you're doing minimal cardio. The only cardio you're doing is just try to get your steps in, right? Right. Yeah. And then calorie wise, I don't know how much we've added over the course of the time, but I would guess at least 500 calories since we started, if not more than that.
I was gonna say, if not more. Like,
yeah, it might be closer to 1,000 now. But so ultimately, the great thing with this is we've increased your calories anywhere from 500 to 1,000 calories, and the scale has either gone down or at least maintained, which big one. That's the whole purpose of reverse diet. Keep your weight the same, if not drop a little bit as we continue filling yourself up, like we talked about. And so that's all good stuff. But then, ultimately, this is kind of part of why we're here, though. Solely, I know that you have a job of doing graphic design, but you obviously do freelance work as well. You do it for myself, which was awesome. It was a pleasure working with you on that stuff. I know, I sent you some ideas. You sent me a handful of ideas. I told you what I liked and what I didn't like. And I'm always tough about that because I'm like, I don't want to insult somebody if I like this idea or don't. But you were able to kind of take it and run with it. And you're like, hey, and we found exactly the perfect thing that I was looking for after going back and forth. So I appreciate your work with that. Where can people find you, reach you on that stuff if they have any graphic design needs, assuming you want extra freelance work, at least opportunity to possibly?
Currently, right now, I'm good on the freelance stuff. I got a couple other client stuff, so I'm currently booked. But if anyone just needs it, I'm like, my advice is always free. Like, I always loved giving the idea, and I know a bunch of free software that you guys can use if you're, starting your own business or anything like that need design help. And if you need more precision help, then I can help you with that. Yeah. But as far as that, just hit me up on here, or I can send you my link to whatever way, or my phone number or whatever to figure it out. Didn't realize that the app doesn't have a DM application, so I found that interesting.
I've seen that as well, but I do know, I have a client of mine, Steven from California, who we just switched over to a keto diet plan to help, fix some blood work for him. So I put him on keto. But we have other people in the group as well that do keto. So he was asked some questions, and so he just posted some questions in the group like that. Right. And Jim Sutton, who's been on keto off and on for a while now, he was able to contact them, so they just messaged directly. Like their information on social media, or I think their phone number or something like that. So you can always do that, but I can always be the middleman to connect people as well. So if you ever want to get fully and you don't want to do it through the app or go look at them on social media, then let me know and I can connect you guys as well. But anyway, Sully, appreciate you sharing, and I'll see you on Sunday too, I guess. I would assume.
You see me on Sunday too. You also see me on Saturday. So
see you on Saturday morning at 8 a.m. and then I'll see you on Sunday at the lift party. Awesome.
Yep.
All right, brother. I'll see you then. All right, Haley, you're on. Got your screen on.
So yeah, I'm Haley. I've been with Marcus for, a year this month, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I found you through Shelby and Jules. I was actually like thinking about getting a personal trainer at the time, and then they said they had one, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. And then we kind of do it together because we have like girls' nights. And so like, you know, like we see each other all the time, and then keeping each other healthy and stuff like that. I actually did 9-round for 2 or 3 years in college and actually trained there for a while, like as a trainer.
That's cool.
And so like with that, like it was weird coming to, because like that was like a go in 30 minutes and you're done kind of thing. And so it was weird having to like schedule out more time than just 30 minutes. But then I'm also not like exhausted every single time after like a HIIT workout like that.
Yeah. And you know, HIIT workouts are great, but it should be balanced. It shouldn't just be
Yeah.
workout
I mean, it
style.
was like 6 times a week I was going.
Yeah. And I mean, I love it. And it's awesome because it actually teaches you how to box a little bit and everything else with it. It's a good functional thing to go do, which I've done off and on, you know, a handful of times. But it's good to have that kind of balance with it. And the good thing is, you know, if you were an instructor there, that also means that you have those skills in your back pocket. You can always go find a heavy bag and put in some work on it.
Yeah.
And mix in that same, even if it's not boxing, that same style of training with what we're doing as well. So, you know, ultimately that's kind of part of what, you know, my workout plans are, is trying to give you guys different tools, different methods, different ways of training, different workout splits and different, you know, all that stuff, intensifiers, so that you always have those in your back pocket, and you already have that in your back pocket. So that's good.
Yeah. And my favorite thing was like the weight area that we would do. And so like that was appealing to me too. I really joined just for the accountability part. Like I don't mind working out and making healthy meals, but I will not like hold myself accountable, I guess. So
yeah, like if you had a bad week prior, it was like, all right, I had a bad week, which is good because you're not like being hard on yourself. But when we're not being reflective and holding ourselves accountable, it's easy to say, oh, I had a bad week, but not really admit it to yourself and allow that to snowball in the 2 weeks. And then you're like, well, shit, it's been a month since I, you know, cooked a healthy meal at home, or whatever the case is.
Right. And then like I'm a teacher too. And so like my first couple years of teaching, I was like using food as like stress reliever. Yeah. And so like, and now after being with you for a year, I like don't feel good doing that. And so like I still want to do that. I actually wanted to do that today after my kids came in hyped up on candy. But I was like, I know I'm not going to feel good in the afternoon if I eat all of that. So like even just that is like helpful, like knowing, because like at the time I was just eating junk all the time and I didn't know a difference, and now I can actually.
Well, and what's worse too, because I mean, obviously, since I'm a teacher and I work with teachers, that's such a big thing. And I mean, I think that's part of why there's a potluck every Wednesday and all the excuses for it. And then, you know, we have a church that wants to donate, which are delicious. And I love all that stuff. And I get it, you know, food brings people together, but at the same time, for teachers, it is a pure just stress relief. And ultimately, they're also eating in a stress state. They're eating this stuff in class or in between whatever. And obviously, if you're eating in a stress state, digestion isn't going to be good, whether you're eating good food or bad food anyway. So that's a compounding problem on top of it. And then, you know, yes, you're kind of on your feet and moving all day, but generally, at least most teachers, not every teacher, isn't. You're so overworked and overstressed that the last thing you want to do is get up 2 hours before work, get a workout in, and then shower and get ready for the day. And then after work, I'm stressed. The kids were awful today. It was Halloween a couple of days ago. They're all hyped up. I don't want to go to the gym afterwards. And that's majority of teachers. So again, it's just these compounding issues that kind of pile up and pile up and pile up. And, you know, I have such a soft spot for teachers because I know that you worked your ass off to better our whole nation, let alone just that, you know, the kids there in your classroom. And that's really, really hard. And there's not a lot of support with that stuff. So it's so tough. So I hate seeing teachers also not take care of their health, because you're constantly pouring out of your cup and never pouring back into your cup. And so if you're not taking the time to do that, you're going to burn out, and you can't be your best teacher, you know, if you're not giving yourself what you need. And I think COVID was a really good opportunity for everybody in the world, but especially teachers. Hey, pour into yourself a little bit, and it's okay to not get shit graded maybe on time, or to get something perfectly planned if that means that you're taking away from your health or your downtime, whatever the case is. So I'm proud of you. I mean, I know that you've been posting about, you know, conferences and what your decisions have been made and everything else of that. And I'm super excited to make a transformation post about you here soon because you've been crushing it, and it's crazy to see that physical difference.
Yeah. Well, and like workout wise, I mean, you know, my gym is so close at my apartment, but like before I would have just been like, and then now it's like, I'll go for a walk when I have time, and like, which is also going to get harder because it's going to get dark earlier, but
hopefully that gym's not closed down for too much longer.
I honestly have no idea. I think they have to completely gut it because it's like mold and everything's just like ruined in there.
Because
so
the water.
I like smell them and like get a discount on my rent or something.
I was gonna say the same thing. I'm like, I moved here because it had a gym. I would have moved down the street. They don't even have a gym, but you guys had a gym, so I moved here because of that. So yeah.
Right.
Good,
Well, and
good luck with that.
Closed. Like all the amenities are closed. So
that's definitely a bummer. Well, are you gonna be there on Sunday?
Yes.
Rock on, I assume so.
Coming.
Perfect. I'll make sure I get on her about it as well. Make sure she's there.
Yes.
All right, Haley, thanks for sharing. Sierra, Abby, Gutu, get ready. I'm coming to you guys next. Who wants to share? Turn your screen on if you're listening and you want to share a little bit. If you don't want to share, or you're just not listening because you're not in the room, that's fine as well.
I'm in the room listening. Can you hear me?
Who's talking now, Abby or Sierra?
Abby.
All right, perfect. Sierra, you can go next. I like that you guys are fighting over. Abby, give it to me.
But I don't think that you're going to be able to see my face because I can't figure this out. So
no worries. No worries. Technology is hard.
And I'm also meal prepping right now because I'm a terrible time management. But we're here.
I think that's perfect. You're prepping midweek so that you can finish the week strong. So whatever you got to do to get it done. Good job.
So, yeah, I guess I started with you, 2-3 months ago now?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was like August, maybe.
Yeah. So, I'm a restaurant manager. I don't know what all we're talking about. Again,
just kind of introduce yourself. Anything that you think pertains to kind of anything interesting about you, your life, your experience with fitness, kind of your journey with TLF, whatever you think pertains to you.
My journey so far has been pretty consistent. We've seen improvements pretty much every week. Maybe not this week since it was birthday week, but but
Cam, and happy birthday to you too, because I know it was your birthday here like last week or something too.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I joined, because Lynn and Sierra were having a lot of success with you, and I needed some accountability with just keeping myself consistent and honest. I had been working out at F45 for a couple of years, and then getting together with you, realizing maybe I was overexerting myself too much and not feeding myself enough. So trying to find that balance between
pause you there real quick. So how long had you been doing F45 and how many times a week were you going?
I was going 6 times a week pretty much consistently for 2 years.
Okay. And for those of you who don't know what F45 is, I would assume it's similar like Orange Theory. It's a boot camp style, hit classes. I've done it once or twice. I did it with John, Abby, John, at the F45 downtown. I think that's the same one you go to.
Yep.
And it was a great workout. Very, very high intensity. I think it's like 45 minutes. That's why it's called F45. But yeah, so you were essentially under eating, training really hard 6 days a week, probably not seeing much results. I would assume. Okay. All right. You weren't. Now, just curious, your other lifestyle habits before that, share what you want to. How often were you eating out during that time? Were you drinking often? Not at all.
All time.
Okay.
All time.
Okay. So it wasn't, all right. So, and a lot of this was, I think that you were probably stressing your body a lot with all that HIIT style training, and then probably not sleeping extremely well. And obviously, if you're drinking at all, that's going to impact recovery. That's going to impact sleep. It's going to impact cortisol, all that good stuff. And then not to mention the calorie surplus as well. So then it's like you're kind of binging on calories whenever you do things like that. but then under eating, like you said, the rest of the week because you're like, all right, it's Monday through Friday. I want to kill it in the gym and I want to, eat less so I can lose weight. And then
Yeah.
that's not budging. Is that kind of all lining up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That makes sense. Sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to kind of paint that
No,
picture
yeah.
for myself and everybody else. Because now
Yeah.
you've been absolutely crushing it. Once you got to me, like you said, week after week after week, we're just seeing progress and progress and progress. And if it's not physical progress, if it's not scale progress, it's digestive progress. It's your choices progress. It's Wednesday night and you're like, hey, I got to get my meals prepped. That's progress.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, even last week with my check-in, we talked about the mindset, and how hard it's been. My family is a bunch of, all day snackers, and the first month going around my family was kind of difficult, and then the second month was a little bit easier, but then this weekend, it's been easy to still maintain my my breakfast and my lunch, and then just only indulging for dinner time, and being able to be super consistent with just and honest with what my own goals are and communicating that. So
Did you communicate that with all of them? I mean,
I did.
Good.
I did.
How'd that go over? Because I know that you were frustrated before because it seemed like they weren't necessarily supportive and that made it harder for you. But how did that conversation go once you were like, this is what I'm doing?
Yeah. So, I mean, when we first started, I had that conversation, and, it was one of those things that's like, well, you don't need to change, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, I'm glad that you feel that way, but I'm going to feel better for myself. I'm not doing it for anyone else. I'm doing it for how it's going to make me feel. And then, and that was with my dad. And so this weekend, he wanted to go get donuts for breakfast and asked if I want anything. I said no. And when he got back, I, told him, I was like, hey, I'm going to make some spinach and eggs, eggs and spinach. Would you like some? And he's like, oh, that sounds nice. Yeah, I'll eat some of that. So, I was able to kind of get him to see that what I'm doing isn't a diet. It's just changing my habits.
Yeah.
So.
And I don't think anybody here on this call could be like, yeah, I don't want a donut for breakfast. I think we would all say that I'd rather have a donut. If I was going to feel equally as good and it was not going to be a detriment to my body, of course we'd all pick a donut over eggs and spinach, but we're putting our long-term happiness, we're putting the happiness and how we feel and our energy the rest of the day well above the immediate gratifying, feeling of eating that donut for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of you on that. I'm proud of you for obviously, communicating. You communicate at the very beginning, but you're staying strong with it. And I think that's a big part as well, is that once people see that, no, she's actually disciplined to this, like she actually cares about this. This isn't some bad she's trying and that it's just an annoyance right now. No, she cares about it and it's not impacting our family time. She's still here. You're still enjoying her time with us. Like you said, you're able to control the majority of the day. Then you'd indulge a little bit more at nighttime. And so then that's also showing them, hey, she can stay balanced. She can reach her goals. She can feel good all the time and be able to take in everything we're doing, which is awesome. Good job, Abby.
Yeah.
That's great. You said you're a manager for a restaurant. What restaurant again is it?
It's Olive Garden, which also makes it very difficult to stay on track.
Tough. That is super tough.
Yeah, especially being the culinary manager. So.
Oh yeah. No, I get that as well. That is tough. Well, Abby, thanks for sharing, especially some of that, that stuff can be kind of vulnerable. And everybody here is essentially strangers at the moment, but hopefully we're getting into each other and that's why we're here. But I appreciate you sharing that, Abby.
Yeah.
Definitely. Are you going to be there on Sunday?
I should be. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I
Awesome.
work, but I should be able to pop in for a minute. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, if anybody can't make it, it's really no problem at all. But if you can be there, I'd be happy to meet you guys in person and, let you check out the gym and whatnot. But anyway, Abby, thanks for sharing and I'll see you on Sunday.
See you on Sunday.
All right. Sierra. Still there? There she is.
Hello, for you all that don't know me, my name is Sierra. Abby is one of my best friends, and I'm happy that she's enjoying TLF now. But me and Lynn, my husband, me and him joined around April of this year with TLF. I was just still continuing on my fitness journey, but I think the biggest problem for me was I didn't know what or how much to eat. And my husband is like a big, like, go to McDonald's, get three burgers, large fry, and a Coke. Like, that's his order. And so it, like, with the fast food coming into the house and like me not figuring out what I should be eating, it was like, that was my struggle. And so I was happy when Dexter was the one, Dexter Axonville, he was the one who introduced us to Marcus and let us know about TLF and all the benefits that he's gained from it. And obviously, Dexter, his health habits has changed. And, I can tell Dexter has packed on a lot of muscle and I'm proud of him for it. And so I was just kind of like, okay, what can I like not gain from this? And so I was like, let's just, try it and see if we like it. I know Lynn has a busier schedule than me because he's a comedian and he works for the post office. So his hours are a little crazy, especially when he's consistently getting booked on shows. For me, it's a little bit easier because I work a 9 to 5, but I was kind of a workaholic in the very beginning, but I kind of slowed down because I just wanted to focus on my fitness and my health. So with TLF, I'm pretty proud of where I'm at right now. We're doing the reverse diet, which I'm kind of happy, but kind of not, because I'm like paranoid about, bumping up my carbs again. And then I really feel it on low carb day again, because I was just getting used to low carbs. And I'm like, oh, I get carbs back. And now my body's like, what are we doing? Like, are we eating carbs?
As soon as you start adding some back in, then, especially if we're still keeping some low days in there, it makes those days is like, well, shit, I really wanted, an extra scoop of rice. I wanted a rice cake.
Yep.
I can't have it. So it makes it definitely a little bit more tough. But this is the diet after the diet, and not to go off on a tangent and get it deep into reverse diet, but it is a very, very crucial phase, because if we just say fuck it right after we get done cutting, and sorry for the language on here if any kids are listening, but if we do that though, right after we're eating less food than what we had been eating so we could lose that weight, and then we just say screw it and we go eat extra food again and go back to our maintenance calories right away, whether that's on purpose, on accident, whatever the case is, then that scale just goes through the roof. So this part is, to me, even more important than the actual cutting phase, because this is how you're going to rebound. Right now your metabolism at the lowest because we just got done cutting. So you got to give it time to rebuild that fire, rebuild that metabolism, and then you can handle a little bit of extra food without it being a negative. I get that.
Yeah. I'm just, just taking it kind of like when I started. I feel like I'm starting over again, but like starting over at a lower weight now. So yeah.
And this is, I always say, reverse dieting is like setting the table for what's to come. We want to set the table for our next cut. So this is going to really help that next cut get you even further and closer to where you really, really want to be. And this is a crucial step that most people, they either don't have the patience for, they don't have the guidance to do it. They don't even know that that's a phase they should go through. So, trusting that process of it to get to that next cut phase is definitely crucial. And once you see it through one time, you're like, okay, this makes sense. But no fad diets. No, you're not going to Google this and usually, see much about this, because there's no sexiness and, hey, we want to maintain weight and increase carbs by 10 grams. Like that's not a sexy caption to say. So that's not going to grasp anybody's attention. But once you actually do it, and you're like, oh my God, I'm eating double the food and weighing the same. I'm pretty sure that's every American's dream, is to be able to eat double the food and not gain a pound. That's like, what's the magic pill for that? Well, the magic pill is a gradual reverse diet, and then you get to live there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
what do you do again, Sierra? What's your 9 to 5?
I work for the Social Security Administration for the government. And so I did recently get promoted. And so that I'm trying to get acclimated to my new position. It's a little more laid back, but it's definitely more work, and I'm over people now. So it's kind of taken on a manager role a little bit, but I'm really enjoying it. But I'm definitely like pulling away from the overtime because of all the work that comes with it. So, but it's good because it allows me more time to go into the gym, focus on eating, because I feel like that was one of the big issues, especially since we're doing the reverse diet. I got to go back to eating more. So with working less, I can just focus on my health now. So
good. I love that. So it's a pay raise, it's a promotion, but you have a little bit more freedom with it, which is also a good thing. So, cross T's, dot your I's while you're working, and then you can, focus on yourself outside of that. So that's good. It sounds like you're in a really good position right now.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's finish 2022 strong. We'll enter 2023 ready to rock.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, Sierra. Thanks for referring Abby as well.
Oh yeah, no problem. And unfortunately, me and Lynn won't be at the TLF party, but I do want some merch though. So if you're selling it online, we'll definitely order it.
I was gonna say it really. I'm bringing everything I have. We'll see what's left. If I run out of everything, which I don't see happening, then I'll get another order in soon. But otherwise, whatever's left over, that's when I'm gonna kind of throw that onto the group and whatnot, and just say, hey, this is what's available. First come, first serve type situation. But you guys enjoy that. And as always, I don't know if Lynn is there or not, but make sure if he's not there, you guys share his information whenever he's performing anywhere. Love.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
that he can eventually leave his male job so he can just be a full-time comedian. I want to see his ass on Netflix.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for that day. But yeah,
I know.
stay tuned.
I trust it's going to be there.
Yeah.
It's a journey. All right, cool, Sierra. Thanks for sharing.
No problem.
All right, Gutu, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I've been here.
She's here. Hell yeah. There we go. How you feeling? I know you've been sick, right?
Yeah, I'm so sick.
I'm here a little bit.
It was a mess. I'm sorry. But yeah,
No, you're good. Do you have the flu? You got COVID? What you got?
I have the flu. I have the stomach flu. I've been sick for a week now. It ain't.
I'm jealous of that. That sucks. And you just started too. You started last week with me, right? On Monday, and then boom, you got sick.
I did. I was feeling like I was sick, but I didn't think it would be the flu. I haven't had the flu in since middle school.
Yeah, that definitely sucks. I mean, and I'll dive into it, but the thing with that is, I feel like there's a lot of people that they'll be tossed this obstacle kind of right away. Like they're finally getting rocking with something, they're finally committing to a change, or they're finally committing to something, and then this obstacle throws in their way, and it's like, all right, well, you just started, so you're gonna just not bounce back in a week or two. This is kind of a good challenge right off the bat to say, hey, how serious are you gonna take this? So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how you bounce back from it.
I don't think this is gonna be a good bounce back. I already lost 7 pounds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You have a different goal than what most people do. We want to put on some muscle mass.
Yeah. Definitely some muscle mass. But when I did start the one day, it was pretty good. I did meal prep. I did meal prep for the week. I didn't finish it because it just wasn't working out for my stuff. So, but sorry, she's talking.
Oh no, you're totally fine. Your daughter's there?
Yeah, she's right here. You want to see her, guys?
Yeah.
Say hi.
Hello. You playing with some toys?
You playing with some toys?
Yeah, she is.
She's
That's
done.
awesome. All right, I'll watch my language the next few minutes then.
Oh, you're good. She when she heard it, she was like, "Don't say that."
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, not awesome, but also kind of awesome. Well, yeah. So sorry that it was such a tough, rough start for you. But I mean, you're an athlete, and I think athletes are resilient. It's always good to see how you bounce back after something like that. So just use that athlete mindset to go right into it. So tell us a little bit about yourself, minus the last 10 days of being sick.
What do you?
All that good stuff. You got some cool stuff to tell about yourself, so I hope you share.
I am Gutu. I think I pretty much know a lot of other people that are in your group
Yeah.
with. Right now I work at LPL Financials. It's a business institution, banking institution, and I work at KU Med too. I think I quit though. I haven't showed up.
They know you're sick?
They know I'm sick, but I haven't responded. I really, me, I really suck at responding, and I really suck at communication. So I think I did quit. I ain't gonna lie. I think I did quit, but it's okay. It was not my full-time job anyways. But I used to be a track athlete, ran for Adidas. I ran for junior college. Didn't go D1. That's kind of pointless because we in junior college you actually run against all of those schools anyway, so it really didn't matter if you went D1 or not. So it was a cool ride. Then I had a baby, and I was still working out. I'm just really small and can never eat. So hopefully I get a better appetite with this meal. I do like the meal plan.
Good.
I just can't find some of the things that you suggested on there.
What
Bonnie and stuff for like the snacks. I suck at snacks.
Okay.
So
as in what? Like you don't like snacks, or you can't find the snacks, or what?
I don't like snacks.
That's totally fine. I put those snacks in there just because most people prefer some sort of a snack, something sweet that they can kind of snack on and whatnot. So I can always replace
like
that with.
Eat.
Yeah, I mean, nothing about this mandatory. It's just a matter of you eat what you're able to eat, and then let me know what you're eating so we can make adjustments. I might say, hey, I think you should be eating this, or I might say, hey, that's fine. So with that snack, that's fine if you're not eating it. I would say let's replace those calories though with something. Yeah. So I can look it over that, and I might just add a little bit more food to some of your other meals, a little bit more carbs, maybe a little more fat, a little more protein to get those calories in. But I can always make that adjustment. Just let me know.
So what I did was, I guess I looked at how much calories probably like the Chobani flips were and all that other stuff. And then I just replaced it with how many calories are in like a regular cup of like yogurt or
yeah, that's totally fine.
Or something. Cause I honestly like I don't remember to eat a snack. Yeah. I barely remember to eat.
I would save like the way I envision it, the way I would personally eat it, or the way I'd recommend to eat it is either especially if you're struggling with that and you don't need some extra just random snack throughout the day, I would either make that kind of like a bedtime snack if you're used to something like that anyway and you want to fix that craving, or just eat it with another meal. So you can eat it with your breakfast, you can eat it with whatever. You can always combine meals, you can change the order of them. If you want to have this carb with this protein, you can always adjust things however you need to. Ultimately, it's a matter of try to eat everything on that plan, and then we'll see how your body responds and we can go from there with things. So you have flexibility within that.
Yeah, facts. But it's going good so far. I didn't cook this week. I didn't meal plan this week. I'm sorry.
You've been sick.
My mom's been cooking.
I love that. Take advantage of that if you have access to it. Yeah. And again, if you're super sick like that, the main thing is try to get what protein you can in. Try to focus on fruits and veggies as much as you're able to, and lots of water. And then tread water. Get whatever you can get done throughout that week whenever you're sick like that. But ultimately, you just got to wait till you're feeling better. But usually, you feel better. It's a stomach flu, so obviously, I know you're scared. You're like, I don't want to eat because it's just all coming out of me in some way, shape, or form. So it makes you hesitant. But at minimum, at least hydrating, and then as soon as you're able to keep food down, to start getting that food back in consistently. So hopefully you can finish this week, with whatever your mom has been making for you and whatnot, getting your water intake in, and then this weekend you can get grocery shopped and ready to go for next Monday.
I think what my mom makes is pretty like similar to healthy eating. Because I guess African food is all like rice.
Oh yeah, it's all good stuff. Yeah. You're not eating processed shit. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm not. Yeah, no, just not none of that. But all I eat is rice.
Yeah.
Here.
So then it's just again, you have a fun journey of okay, he's gonna eat a little bit more, eat a little bit more food, eat a little bit more food, eat a little more. You know what I mean? So it's you've got a more fun job than somebody saying, oh, I can't have extra food now. So we'll get you there, but yeah, just manage. Get through this week, have a good weekend, and get locked in on Monday then.
Yes.
Sooner if you're able, but if you got to wait till Monday, then wait till Monday. But that'll be kind of your official start date, and we'll see how you go from there.
Yeah.
Well, if you're feeling up to it, Sunday at Body Shop in Overland Park, lift party 9 to 11 a.m. if you're able to make it.
I'll probably show up.
All right, cool. Hope to see you there. But anyway, thanks for sharing tonight, though, and thanks for being on the call, especially not even feeling 100%.
You're welcome. Nice to meet you guys.
Yes, you as well. All right, friends, I appreciate you guys all being on the call. Tonight was actually a longer call than I thought. I thought it was going to be a shorter call, but we took up a whole hour. I've got our Caleb and I's Food, Fitness, and Family podcast about to record here in about 2 minutes. So I'm going to let you guys go. I appreciate you guys being here. And if you're not listening to that podcast, then some of the information might sound like I'm just repeating myself from here, but you guys are hearing it first before I go on there and talk about different stuff. But anywho, oh, Haley, you love the new podcast intro music. I tell you, it took me forever to figure out how to get that music added on there without it. It's a whole messed up thing, but I got it figured out now. I'm happy you like the music. I think there's a pretty good touch to it. But anywho, friends, Haley, I appreciate you listening. Everybody else, I appreciate you guys being here. And I hope to see you guys on Sunday. Have a good night, friends.